Hey, Sharp Goat Photo Challengers. Welcome to week number 11, the Black and White Photo Challenge, and thank you once again for participating, and thank you for pressing play and watching the video critiques. I really appreciate it. And also thank you for being patient that the videos are coming out a little bit later than they normally do. I was on vacation. Long story short, thought I could do them while I was away. Didn't happen. Had to wait till I got home. I'm really tired. I'm really frazzled from the flight. So let's get right into Kim Lawrence's picks for her submissions for the Black and White Photo Challenge. Thank you very much. Thank you so very much, is what it sounds like when I slow down, for submitting, Kim. Your comments were, oops, I'm half an hour late. Oh, big deal. You're late? Screw off. I'm not reviewing these. God damn it. I don't tolerate tardiness. That's all right. No problem. I don't even know how late you were actually. You're hardly ever late. So, this one here, the number 8 bus. I think this is one of the few night shots we've gotten for the Black and White Challenge. Cool. And I think this one is very nicely done. The black and white really serves it very well because it accents different things, different parts of the image than if it was in color. But yeah, I like the composition of the bus itself. It's well framed up. The 3B in the background here. And also it's, let's see, f1/200. So this one, 6400. Okay, that's why. ISO jacked right up. That's why. No problem. I was just looking to see how you got a decent exposure in low light, but very solid. I dig it very much, and I hope the bus driver didn't mind. Over the bridge and down the trail. Apparently, I used aperture priority in this one. Was running out of time, 2.2K walk to work, didn't want to be late, no problem, but hey, I like how your priorities are like, I'm late, but I must take a photo of this. Yeah, that says something about you. Aperture priority, that's okay, I can let it slide. But this one here, what's going on? What did you see here that I'm supposed to be seeing here? Unless it looks like maybe it was a foggy-ish day. I like the look of the fence here. I like some of it, but ultimately I don't think it feels very empty. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be looking at. I don't see what you saw. It's a nice trail. I love the trail very much, but as a photo, kind of lacking. The coffee is cold. Is that an actual coffee thing, or is that another sculpture? I like that. I would like to have one of those as a sculpture, as a coffee thing. It's hardcore. So this one here, does very well as a black and white. It's a coffee. I think it is a sculpture, but it's a coffee dispenser apparatus. At an interesting time of day, so the shadow's being cast over here. It's at 7.1. Yeah, okay, I like it. I think I like it as a black and white rather than if it were in color. And yeah. Bench by the river. Used aperture priority instead of manual because I was curious about it after reading that a lot of photographers use it. In this case, I don't think it looks any better than if I had shot manual. Yeah, aperture priority, some photographers just prefer it because when they have to, when they're shooting very quickly or where they have to, if it's a live event, for instance, and they're really, they have to react very quickly and they have to be able to take a photo very quickly and capture the action as it's happening. Aperture priority helps because you only have to set aperture, so it'll set everything else for you. And really, aperture is to a lot of photographers that main setting that you want to have control over. It mainly controls your depth of field in aperture priority mode, because otherwise, if you shoot at f4, f7.1, or f22, the camera will try to auto exposure the rest of the image and make up its mind as to what the ISO or shutter speed are. So in that sense, it's less for you to think about. You only have to set one number, so it's the closest to manual without being actual manual. So yeah, there is that. So I don't fully mind when people use aperture priority, but sometimes aperture priority isn't the best because again, you're still relying on your camera itself, which is a lifeless entity that can't think for itself to guess what your exposure is, what you're intending your exposure to be, and it may not always be accurate. So you want to be able to take control of that. Anyways, that rant is over. So let's take a look at Bench by the River. Cool. Okay, I like the character that's going on here. I like the fact that again, I just like shots of like woodsy things and things with finer detail in black and white. I just think they really pop right out. I really dig this tree, actually. So I think this would be a lovely setting if someone was on that. If someone was either just lying on that bench or sitting on it, that would be a very nice setting. Go back to that tree quickly and take a shot of that. That was on May 1st, so that was less than a week ago, so you've got time. I would dare say go back there and try to take a shot of someone on that bench, because that would be a really awesome shot. Have them wear white. Have them wear something really light so that they really pop out against this dark image here. But that is what my recommendation is. Foggy Morning by the Speed. Okay. Cool. Okay. And this is at F4. Okay. Yeah. And when you're doing, some of these are landscape shots, but they're shot at, that one's F4. The other one was at F4. That one's not a landscape. This one's at F4. Here's a tip. When you're setting aperture, if you're doing a landscape shot or a wide angle, shot of a building or something big, a landscape shots, usually you want to. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but most photographers will bump up their f-stop to something higher, something like f13 or something, at least 7.1 or higher, to get a wider depth of field so that you get more of the image in focus, because you don't need such a shallow depth of field because your subject is huge. So you want more of it to be in focus. So it looks like you had some light to deal with since your shutter speed was 1/400. So I would have tried to sacrifice a few stops with the shutter speed, bump that back to 1/100, for instance, and then compensated by bumping up the f-stop. So and even maybe adjusting the ISO just to widen it out a little bit more. But that's just me. You make up your own mind as to what you want to do. So this one here, it feels like there's a lot of character going on to this image. I like this scene very much. I think you have a knack for seeing character in a lot of landscapes and where non-human shots. Because I like the look of the Speed River flowing right down here. Everything's nice and blurry in the background here. I think this is a strong photo for you. I dig it. And again, it serves well as a black and white because you have the section of white here and dark. It's nicely done. I like it. And it looks like it was an overcast day, which lends itself very nicely to black and whites. Makes things a little bit duller, a little bit moodier, but I think that's what you were going for. So, time to pick a favorite. If I was to pick a favorite of all of these, which one would I pick? I really do see the potential with the bench by the river. I really would like to see, if you do get a chance to go back there, someone on that, or add a subject to that bench. That bench is lonely. It needs something. But actually, I'm going to go with Foggy Morning by the Speed. I dig that one. That is my favorite one. So thank you very much for participating this week, Kim. I really do appreciate it. And if you want to get more information on the Sharpgoat Photo Challenge or get more people involved, send them on over to the sharpgoat.com/blog. There they'll get updates on the challenges, the video critiques, and also tips on photography in general. So there we go. Thank you very much for submitting this week, Kim, and we'll see you next week.